by Kyle Swenson. The Washington Post, April 17, 2018. On Monday, Sean Hannity walked himself right into an awkward comparison. It happened following the bombshell revelation in a Manhattan courtroom that Trump attorney Michael Cohen's client list included the Fox News host. In his afternoon radio show, Hannity explained that his relationship with Cohen was limited to a few brief discussions on business matters. "I might have handed him $10 and said, 'I definitely want your attorney-client privilege on this,'" Hannity told listeners Monday afternoon. Something like that. Online, the "handed him $10" line immediately launched comparisons to an infamous scene from AMC's smash hit Breaking Bad. Get This Week in Politics in your inbox, a weekly recap of the top political stories from the globe, sent right to your email. Thank you for signing up. Sign up for more newsletters here. In a memorable exchange involving one of the shadiest lawyers in television history, attorney Saul Goodman, played by Bob Odenkirk, tells the show's meth-dealing main characters to "put a dollar in my pocket" to assure their conversations about criminal misdeeds remain protected. And if you are trying to steer clear of a scandal, it's best if your legal thinking does not echo the Breaking Bad character, who later became the protagonist of the prequel, better. Call Saul. "I love Breaking Bad as much as the next person, but I probably wouldn't take Saul's 'put a dollar in my pocket' approach to attorney-client privilege," one Twitter user said. But both Breaking Bad and Hannity's conception of attorney-client privilege seem to rest on a faulty understanding of the legal concept. In a 2015 article in the New Mexico Law Review, Armin Adjemian and Susan M. Marcella compared the popular show's presentation of the law with the reality of federal court, including what the pair called the "myth of the dollar bill." "Saul has a habit of grossly overstating the reach of the attorney-client privilege," the two authors wrote. The famous scene between Saul Goodman and Walter White and Jesse Pinkman appears in the 8th episode of Breaking Bad's second season, titled Better Call Saul. Hoping to intimidate one of the attorney's clients, White and Pinkman kidnap Goodman at gunpoint, bind his hands, and take him out into the desert. But in true sleazy lawyer fashion, Goodman flipped the script, instead offering advice on the pair's criminal enterprise. "First things first, you're gonna put a dollar in my pocket, both of you," Goodman tells them. "You want attorney-client privilege, don't you? So that everything you say is strictly between us? I mean it. Put a dollar in my pocket, make it official." Both stuff cash into the lawyer's suit jacket. "You're now both officially represented by Saul Goodman and Associates," Goodman announces. "Your secrets are safe with me under threat of disbarment." Not exactly, according to Adjemian and Marcella. Attorney-client privilege is not laid out in one law or the U.S. Constitution. Instead, the concept has worked its way into American jurisprudence through the English common law, state statutes and rulings of the courts. Privilege exists between an attorney and a potential client or client seeking legal advice when the predominant purpose of the communication was to render legal advice, Adjemian and Marcella wrote. The Breaking Bad scene in the desert is incorrect, the pair argue, because payment is not necessary if the conversation is about legal advice. "There is simply no reason to exchange a dollar," they wrote. To invoke the privilege, Saul only needs to confirm that Walt and Jesse seek his legal advice as potential clients. The flip side to this is that payment, as Hannity suggested on his radio show, does not automatically mean privilege. Exchanging a dollar bill with a lawyer does not magically cloak subsequent conversations with that lawyer under the protection of the privilege, according to Adjemian and Marcella. Not even 7 barrels of cash can buy the attorney-client privilege where none is warranted, and courts have narrowly defined privilege as legal discussion between lawyer and client. It does not apply to business, lobbying, or public relations advice, even from a lawyer. Then there's criminal activity, which is what Saul, Walt and Jesse were ultimately engaged in. The crime-fraud exception to the privilege excludes from confidentiality communication between an attorney and potential client that's in furtherance of a crime, even if the lawyer does not realize at the time the advice is for something illegal. On Monday, Hannity continued to deny he had ever hired Cohen, but also appeared to contradict his "handed him $10" line. "I never retained him, received an invoice, or paid legal fees," the Fox host tweeted. "I have occasionally had brief discussions with him about legal questions about which I wanted his input and perspective. I assumed those conversations were attorney-client confidential, but to be absolutely clear, they never involved any matter between me and a third party." By then, however, the Breaking Bad meme had exploded, and Hannity was taking withering criticism for not disclosing his relationship with Cohen to viewers, even while using his show to repeatedly and vehemently criticize the federal raid on Cohen's office and home, as the Post's Paul Farhi reported. But at this point in the chaotic legal mess swirling around Cohen, Trump and now Hannity, another bit of dialogue from that Breaking Bad scene in the desert might be worth keeping in mind. The way I see it, someone is going to prison, Goodman tells his new clients. It's just a matter of